Hello everyone, my name is Mallika Boobna and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is very special. Today I'm going to be giving you 6 tips to help you win any competition that come your way. During my college life, I've had the privilege to participate in multiple competitions. I've had a startup when I was 18 in my first year, and we competed at pitching competitions, incubators, accelerators, and so many other competitions, and the biggest one being the Hult prize. And we were selected as a top 40 teams from around 200,000 teams to go to the UK to live at Ashridge for 5 weeks and accelerate our startup journey with the most talented people on the planet. And I'm not saying that to brag, I'm saying that to tell you guys that I think now I have had the clarity to understand what worked for me and what did not work for me in that competition, because the winner got $1 million. And now I have clarity as to what I would have done differently, and that's why I'm making this video, to help anybody who is in the same boat as I was or will be in the near future, to ace any competition and get that $1 million that I could not. So yes, let's get started. So my first piece of advice would be network. Quite cliche, however very important. When my team and I went to the Hult prize, we went with this great competitive spirit about winning that $1 million, winning that competition. However, we forgot to look at the bigger picture, which is to connect with people around us. We forgot that there were 39 other teams who were selected from literally all around the world, who were very talented, brought a lot of value to the table. And we should be friends with them and make those connections, because even if we lose the competition, which we did, we would have had those connections for a lifetime. I know people from Hult prize, from different teams who have started a startup together. I know people who have gotten each other jobs, and I know people who are having reunion in different parts of the world every now and then. I cannot emphasize on this line enough. It is not about what your idea is. It is not about who you are, what you have. It is all about who you know. End of statement. It has always been about who you know. I'm not saying make those friends for selfish reasons. Make genuine connections, make genuine friends. When you go, spend the entire first day or first week, if it's a month-long program, to connect with people, ask where they are from, what they've done, instead of talking about business all the time. So yeah, connect with people, very important. My second advice would be personal branding. In competitions like Hult prize, if you have a startup called 𝗕𝗓𝗢, for example, make sure that you're maybe wearing a t-shirt which says 𝗕𝗓𝗢 or a hat which says 𝗕𝗓𝗢. So even when you're talking to people and you're not necessarily talking about 𝗕𝗓𝗢, but you're talking about like random stuff, when you're wearing stuff from your business like a branded 𝗕𝗓𝗢 cap or a sweater or a jacket, people subconsciously know about 𝗕𝗓𝗢 and you're marketing 𝗕𝗓𝗢 in some way, if that makes any sense. So if you're in a competition and there are multiple other teams, make sure to invest some money into branded stuff for your brand, because that speaks volumes and that will stay in the mind of the people. So you would not have to literally talk to them and lecture them about your company, but you can just talk to them about random stuff. You can go for a walk, and just by looking at you, they will get reminded of your business, which I think is incredibly important, and they will always have you in mind. So they'll be like, oh, I know the 𝗕𝗓𝗢 guys, they did this, they did that. So yes, impressions, very important. My third piece of advice would be have a great team. I cannot emphasize on how important it is to choose your team wisely. I remember from my Hult prize journey that it was the last week where they had to choose the final 6 to go to the UN to choose which team will get $1 million prize. And one of the teams who got selected for the finals was somebody who changed their idea in the last week. They had to start from square one because they thought that they have to pivot and do different things. While on the other hand, other teams like ours, we had a lot on our plate because we had progressed through those 5 weeks. So we have been working on our idea consistently. But the other team won, and the judges who selected them said that it is not the best idea who wins, it's the best team who wins. They said that this team has a perfect blend of skills we would need to have a successful startup, and that's why these guys are going forward. So that's an example about how important it is to have a great team. Other than that, it is also important to have a team with different skills and abilities and also be on the same page. Somebody can just come in and be like they are in the competition to have a great experience, while somebody would want to win. and that could clash. So remember to be very open about why you are competing in that competition, coming together, and what you guys want out of it. It is also very important for you guys to be very open about your strengths. So it is not important for everyone to talk on stage. Somebody who's a good public speaker can just take the reins, while somebody who's good at writing the pitch or doing graphics or doing the slides can do that. Every job is important, so do not focus on who's getting the spotlight, because it's a team and everybody wins in the end. Regarding my experience, so for Hult Prize you have to qualify the regionals to go to the accelerator. Regionals happens in every country, so we were the winners from Paris, and one of the judges who selected us said that we are going forward because our team was very cohesive. We are very likable people, and they saw us talking together and answering questions together, and they said that this team will go forward because they are a great group of people together. So yes, choose your team wisely because it's important. Following my third advice, my fourth piece of advice would be to not fall in love with the idea. Fall in love with your problem. It is very important for you to establish an emotional connect with your audience. You have to look into their eyes and start with a story which describes the problem and the geography you chose and why you chose it. Talk about how pressing the problem is, and talk about why you are the team who has decided to solve that problem for that community, for those people, and how you're going to change the world with that startup. Have an emotional connect and make them realize how it's an important problem that needs to get solved. And once they realize how important the problem is and how you are the team which took up the responsibility with your great idea to solve it, nobody can stop you. My fifth piece of advice, again related to Hult Prize, because it's a 5 to 6 week long program. So it is very important for you to show accelerated progress as to how every week you are progressing and how every week you have changed something and you have implemented the feedback you've received that week to go forward. It is very important for you to mention how that week has changed and what progress you have made. Otherwise, if you're just stagnant in the first and second week and that just stays the same, nobody would want to invest in you, because they'll be like, what have you done in those 3 weeks? What changes have you made? If you have not done any progress, why would we select you to waste our time? So make sure that you talk about the accelerated progress and how you have made so many calls and you have secured so many LOIs or MOIs or whatever you've done in your power to test your product and connect with your market and your audience. Following up with that advice, at Hult Prize you get $1 million, right? So I'm very sure that other competitions might offer you some prize money as well. It is very, very, very important for you to talk about in the end of your presentation, in the last 1 minute, about how you're going to use that money to solve that problem. Do not talk about how you're going to spend money, because anybody can spend money. Ask me. Anybody can shop and spend money on marketing and this and that. Talk about how you're going to use that money properly, securely, to make those changes and to make things happen. Talk about how a 10% of that 1 million will go towards this, which will help me secure 10% of my market share, which will help me produce this much stock to help me sell it 10 times more. So, and talk about how you're going to save a portion of the prize money to be used for further developments in the near future. But do talk about how that money will help you go forward with your startup. And lastly, basic points: have good slides. Do not have spreadsheets on slides like me on the first week. Have really nice slides with amazing pictures. Have pictures from your market. Click a lot of photographs. Have a lot of traction. Traction is basically videos of your market, videos of your product, of your MVP, anything that could cause excitement. A letter from the respected authorities or from the government that they will support you in your venture. Anything that be a highlight. So, and guys, lastly, have lots and lots and lots of fun. I think one thing my team and I regret is not having lots and lots of fun. Those opportunities do not come in very often. So make sure you use it and have a lot of fun with your friends which you make there, and stay in touch with them and just have a great time. Focus on the learning and not so much on the competition or the prize money. I learned so much from Hult Prize and I'm eternally grateful. And yes, I think that's it for this video. If you want a part 2, I have a long list of learnings from Hult prize. So I would maybe do a detailed video on pitches and how to talk and how to present your presentations, if that is something you want. If you want, please put a thumbs up in the comments and also like this video. And yeah, I will see you next time. Much love. Bye.